One of the most difficult parts of learning happens really early on in the learning stages. It has a way of kind of tripping us up and making it really hard to move forward. So today in this video, let's talk about how we embrace that, how we take that and use that to move ourselves forward. Hey, what's up? I'm Ken. This is kenfuTV, and you're watching Ken Learns Kenfu, where we're going to talk about different parts of the process of learning. I was never really good at writing, so these are more kind of my journal entries of the martial arts and how things go as I discover them. And today we're going to talk about learning, something I've observed over and over and over again. But first, if you're new here, really excited to have you. Make sure to hit that subscribe, hit that bell so you know when videos are coming out. If you like this video, if this is the kind of thing you like, make sure to hit that like, let YouTube know that you dig it, share it with somebody, anybody who you think could benefit from this stuff. Today's a big one, and today, whereas most of these are really about the martial arts, this one is very specifically just about learning in general. Everybody can benefit, I think. These videos come out every Monday. I hope that you like this stuff. So what do I mean? What am I talking about when I say there's a part of learning that is difficult for everybody? Truly, there's people that maybe it's not as difficult for. There's definitely people who really are going to hang up with it, but it does happen to each of us all the time, right? And that's getting over that hump of realizing that we don't know what we're doing. That's a tough one. It's really, really hard. So let's look at it in the phases. Okay, let's look at it in the stages of learning. And what that's going to do is that's going to show us how we're really not off track. In fact, we're on track and we're ready to move forward. We just have to embrace it and realize that this is just part of it. So what do I mean by that? The 4 stages of learning, broken down into segments, right? These correlating pieces, these bits, so to speak, that are going to flip from 0 to 1 and 1 to 0. And that's what we're going to work through. So the first one is unconscious incompetence, which means I don't know that I don't know that. I'm just unaware. One of the eye-opening moments is going from not having a clue that you don't know that or how to do it to suddenly realizing I now absolutely know that I don't know how to do that. That's a big one. And this is the moment. Okay, so unconscious incompetence. I don't know that I don't know. Moving into conscious incompetence. Making that switch into the idea that now I know I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't know about that. I didn't even know that was a thing. I certainly don't know how to do it. That's where I'm at. From there, stage 3, conscious competence, meaning if I think about it, if I focus and I pay attention, I can do it. And then lastly is unconscious competence, right? So unconscious incompetence takes us all the way to unconscious competence. And so unconscious competence is now I can do it without even thinking. I'm able to do this thing. I'm able to perform this skill or do this thing, know this information, and I don't have to think about it. That's the goal. That's the ultimate, right? That's when we know we're good at something. And when we see somebody who we think is good at something and we appreciate the value of what they're able to do, and especially when it's something that we're really impressed by, it usually comes down to the fact that that person doesn't even have to think about something that's difficult for me, and they can just do it, and they're great at it. It looks effortless. The thing is, nobody gets to that state without going through the other 3. So here's where everybody gets hung up. Here's where a lot of times, if someone's going to quit, this is where. Keeping things in the realm of martial arts, because that's what this channel's about. But extrapolate it. It applies to everything. When I get somebody that comes in, they know they want to learn the martial arts. Sometimes they don't even know what the martial arts has to offer or why they're doing it. They have their own reasons of why they're there and why they want to learn what they want to learn. And that's awesome. Then in one of the early lessons, what happens is they're shown something that they suddenly are painfully aware they're not really good at it. They're not very coordinated, their balance sucks, they're slow, they're whatever it is. And they view it as a problem. They view it as, I'm not able to do this. So instead of seeing it as just a natural thing, hey, I came in not knowing how to do this, and now I know for sure that I don't know how to do this. Instead, this is where the hang-up happens. They look at it and go, I'm not good at this. I'm really slow, I'm uncoordinated, God, I can't figure this out, I'm holding everybody up. You know, all these different things run through your head, and that self-doubt is a lot of times where people quit. You know, and I'm not saying day one, they walk in one class and they quit. People do. That definitely happens. They go, wait, this is maybe more than I thought, and you don't know where they're coming from internally, mentally, where they're at, and what drives them to think that they're not making it. But even still, people that continue to train, continue to learn that skill, continue to go to school, continue to whatever. Again, extrapolate this to match anything that involves learning, because all of these stages apply to anything that involves learning. So if you can't see progress, then really quickly you feel like a failure. But the truth is you're not. Honestly, if you could already do it, why do you need someone to teach you how to do it? And if you could already do it well, do it really well, why do you need somebody to teach you how to do it better? It's because you don't have those things that you're even there working with whoever you're working with to gain this knowledge, this skill, this ability in the first place. What do we need to do to make this better? We really need to recognize that going from not having an idea of how to do something, that it's even a thing, realizing that there's a thing I could be doing, but I suck at it. And maybe it's even this could be even years down in your training of whatever you're doing. You could be going forever and then suddenly try to do something and then just suck at it. And that moment when you realize that you're not good, that's where the doubt comes in, things like that. It's not worth holding you back. Really, you've just highlighted on the thing that's going to make you better. So how do we leverage it? We focus on the fact that we now have the tools. Before, we didn't have the tools. The things that are actually holding us back from learning and improving is the fact that we don't know what to improve. We're not sure, right? If we're not at a stage of conscious incompetence, if we're not at a stage of being aware that we're not good at whatever it is, we'll never be able to improve it. So if everything that we're doing is in the stages of either conscious competence, I can do it if I think about it, or unconscious competence, I can do it without thinking. If every facet that we're aware of is in one of those two categories, there's no room for improvement. That means anything left over is living in the unconscious incompetence area. I'm unaware of it. I can't improve it. So truly becoming aware that you can't do something is one of the most powerful things that you will ever get. We want to take that so poorly, but it is the best thing. It doesn't get any better than to suddenly realize that there's a path. If you know what's wrong, you can find a solution. That solution might be finding someone to help you get through it. That solution might be recognizing that it's not your strength and passing it to somebody whose it is their strength. You know, in the case of work or things like that, just because you're not good at it doesn't mean you're the right person to do it either. But maybe you are, and then now you know what you need to do to get better. You are aware of the part that's not working, which means you're going to either already be aware or really quickly become aware of what it would take, what it should look like if it is working. And so all you have to do is move steadily towards that. That's it. Steady movement towards a goal will get you there, period. If you don't move, or you move backwards, you'll never get there. But even if I move so slow, I will get there. Always, right? A bucket filling a drip at a time is painfully slow, but that bucket will fill. Unless that water cuts off, that bucket will become full. And learning is the same way. As long as you continue working, you will get there. And you just got to realize that this is actually the most beautiful thing you have is clarity. Just knowing you want to improve, that you want to be better than you are, but not having a clue what needs to be improved, that should be the part that's scary. That should be the part that's difficult, because what do you work on? How do you leverage anything to become better if you're not even sure what direction to go? So you're doing everything, trying to do everything better. Well, that will definitely take longer because it's so scattered. It's not obvious. It's not directed. It's not focused. And that's where having somebody, especially, looking at the martial arts and looking at school and different things like that, that's what the teacher's job is to recognize, I know where you're trying to go, probably because I've been there and I've gone through it myself. I'm aware of what the weaknesses are that are going to help you go further, and making you aware of them seems sometimes awful. It seems very disheartening, but it's the secret. It's the thing. It's the thing you need from somebody who's helping you gain. So that's it. I'm going to keep this short because I want people to watch it all the way to the end. And I have a tendency to talk a lot because of that. I know people don't usually stick out for the whole thing. So this is it. Focus on turning it around. Take the things you don't know, the things that you're aware of now that you don't know that make you feel awful, and realize that knowing about it is the best thing. Let that fuel you. Let it give you energy and give you charge and give you purpose and direction and passion, and you're going to improve so fast. You're going to do so well. And just don't give up, because you'll get there. Period. Okay, that's it. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like. That helps the channel out. Subscribe here, and some other videos you might like right here. And that's it for today. I hope you guys are staying well, staying safe, training hard, and I hope you come back, and I'll catch you in the next one.